folks, welcome to Software Testing Hacks. In this video, let's talk about and or operator. So along with path, today we are going to use and or operator so that we can identify a particular element uniquely. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Start it. So let's switch to our application, Orange HRM. So first we will log in. Okay, let's log in using this username and then the password. Okay, so earlier, uh, what we used to do is we used to identify a particular element by inspecting it, and then we were using only single attribute. So what is the syntax of this XPath is double slash tag name in the square bracket attribute is equal to value. So this is the syntax of the XPath. So basically, if I suppose want to identify this particular element, how I used to do it is so using the class, correct? I can use the class instead of this in this attribute, identifying it using the button as the tag name and then class I was using this value. So that is how I usually used to do it. But there is another way where you can identify a particular element using two attributes or more than two attributes as well. Suppose here I'll take search. Okay. If you take search, so there are two attributes, different attributes that I can combine and then locate it. So first let's identify it using one locator. Sorry, one attribute. So here input, right? And then at the rate. So what is the attribute here? It is the class is equal to this, right? So let's identify whether we are able to identify it or not. Let's see. Yes, we are able to identify. Now, along with this, I want to use placeholder as well. Is it possible? So as I already said, it is possible. So let's write this at the rate placeholder is equal to. So what is the value? Value is search. Paste this. So, with multiple attributes as well, we are able to identify a particular locator, particular element basically. So this is how we can do it. Certain cases, what happens is one attribute value might change. Okay, in that case, you have to use some alternative, right? So for that, what we will do is we will say that we will use or. Okay, so first we will use or and then and we will talk about it first. Okay. So instead of this bracket, okay, use or. Okay. And then next is the syntax will follow the same and then instead of or you can use and. Okay. So what is the difference is, so in case of or, what happens is either of the attribute value must be correct to identify a particular element. But in case of and, strictly both of these attribute values should match. Then only it will be able to identify the element. Let's see how. So, first let's see this or. Okay. So here we are able to identify. Correct. So instead of this or if I have and it will be able to identify. But here the let's see, one of the attribute value is not correct. Okay. Instead of this access, let's give something wrong. Okay. So still it is able to identify because one of attribute value is correct. Okay. So that is how it is able to identify. Suppose in case if this value is also wrong. Okay, then also it is able to identify. Suppose in case of and, let's replace this with and. Okay, so now it is able to identify because both of these attribute values are correct. Okay, now in case I'll change this value. It is not able to identify because it strictly expects both the attributes value should match. Okay, that is how this and or operator work. So let's see it with an example. So let's go to our XP. So let's create a new class. Let's name it as XPath locator. Okay, and then select this public static void main and then finish. So I want, if I go back to this first test, I'll copy a set of statements so that we will be at least able to launch the application. Okay. So till here, I'm going to copy and then I'll paste it here. So can you fix this? Okay. And then also we will copy this last part. Okay. So this part. So here in between, what we'll do is we'll search for the particular element. Okay, so here if you see, we will use this and then identify this and then we will enter something called performance or time, anything. We'll use that. Okay, but what we'll do is say driver dot find element. Okay, so it is y dot with path. We are using path itself. Okay, and then paste this value dot. So here it should be enclosed with double quotes. Let's remove this and then yeah. So dot send the keys of what will send us this performance. Let's see, we'll identify the performance and then we'll send this. Let's see whether it is able to identify this. Okay, so let's run this. So we will add some weight here so that you'll be able to see the red dot sleep. uh, The red dot sleep. So we'll add some 2 seconds of weight here. Okay, so we can remove this weight. We'll comment this. Okay, so let's run this. It should fail, basically. If you see, it won't be able to identify, correct? Okay, no such element exception. So why? Because we have this W which is not matching with the attribute which is present. So let's run this again. So if you see here, again we have got no such element or unable to locate the element. Okay. So no such element exception we have got. So what we have to do is sometimes automation will run so quickly that sometimes even before the element is loaded on the screen, because of the synchronization issue, it fails. So what we'll do is we'll remove this. Okay. The commented code will remove and then we will run this. Okay. It logged in. Yeah. You can see that it entered the value and then even it clicked on logout. So now the script passed. So this is how we can basically use this AND operator. In case if I use OR here, now as well it should be able to identify and then it should pass. So let's run this. Yes, it is able to identify. Suppose in case of, or if I add some different value in case of search, say let's say search 123, which doesn't match. So if I execute it now also it should work perfectly fine. It should not give us any error. Perfect. So now, so this is how and or work. Basically, you can add any number of uh, attribute combinations and then you can verify this. So this is how and or operator with XPath works. Hope you learned how you can combine different attributes using the and or operator. If you have liked this video, please do like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For watching, bye bye.